I've been okay. No, what I was saying was I find it funny when people are requesting me to send a reminder text about the podcast when people can just set an alarm themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think I've got it locked down.
I'm not sure why they need me to do that. I'm not sure why I'm part of the equation of you remembering events in your life.
Well, maybe because you're the one who's going to be affected the most if they forget.
That's true. I usually end up just sitting alone in my apartment crying when people don't show up. So
That's so funny. Yep. Sorry, Daniel. Wait, are you going to let me know when the podcast officially starts?
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
Default intro. Love it. You could just pre-record it, like, you know, me and someone else.
No, we do it every time. Reese is here. You sound like you got a lot of energy right now. What's going on? You're either like running or you just ate a lot of sugar or you did something illicit. I don't know what's going on.
Just finished eating. That's it. But I'm just a hype guy, you know.
You're
really
on a food
excited.
high right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Just really excited to talk to my buddy Daniel. You know?
It's been a little while. I don't have the data on when you were last on the show, but I feel like it's been about a year.
I think it's been maybe a year or two. I remember last time I joined the call super late, and I remember I was at like Harvard Square, and I just joined it on my phone, like super late. So no, I'm doing better this time. Way better.
You know what? It may have been. Have you done one on Skype before?
I think so. I've done it a couple times, but
okay, that would have been last April, like a year ago. That was the last. It was
a year. You don't keep a detailed Excel spreadsheet of all the episodes and all the guests?
Maybe I should. Maybe I should start tracking that stuff. But the previous link I sent you was Blue Jeans, so that's why I'm asking about Skype. So I guess you did join late.
Blue Jeans, Georgia Tech Blue Jeans. That's hilarious.
Which they don't use anymore. That's why we're not using Blue Jeans. We're using Skype, which Skype's a little more complicated, and I feel like it crashes more. But it works fine. It gets the job done, and it's free for anyone that's wondering.
And it's just kind of hilarious how Skype was always the default, you know, and then as soon as we needed a meeting platform, nobody used Skype anymore. Like, that's the last I heard of Skype. 2020.
Yeah, I know. This is a bit ironic. I get it because I'm using Skype, but what do people use Skype for nowadays?
It's just nothing. There's no reason for it to exist. It's just awful. It's just terrible. I think it's just we needed a competent video conferencing platform, and that's why everybody was like, okay, let's use this other thing that's not Skype. It's just so awful.
Strange. This is simple enough. I mean, I say that, but then when people want to join the podcast, it's always like the end of the world. I mean, they're struggling.
I couldn't do it on web. I had to download a stupid app. They're stupid.
You had a lot of tries. You had a lot of shots on goal here. It says there's 4 of you, or I guess there's 3.
Oh yeah. Why is it? Yeah, I tried to join 3 times on web, and I was wondering, it's like, wow, 4 other people. How many guests? How many guests are there? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so maybe it is too complicated. Web, I thought worked though. I know people have used it in the past, so maybe it's just by a device. It's like a device issue or something.
Maybe. So I want to ask, actually, is every episode with previous trumpet section members or current?
No. There's other people in my life, I guess.
No, but I thought you wanted to make it a podcast about, like, the trumpet section. I thought it was like a trumpet section. That's why I'm asking.
Kind of. Yes and no. That's kind of how it ended up. Just, sort of where it fell. But we have a large variety of guests.
Okay.
We keep a high diversity or diverse profile.
Cool.
of entertainers and people that come on. It can't just be the Tanner Hour. We got
the Tanner Hour. Has Tanner ever come back to the show?
Oh, he comes on all the time.
He comes on all the time?
Well, not recently. We've been struggling with setting up times. Sometimes, it's like, can you schedule it?
Poor Tanner. He's out, right? He's out?
Yeah. He's doing bigger and better things. Maybe we'll have you on with him. We might be doing something.
Like to be on with Tanner.
We'll have to see. We'll just see what I can schedule.
Tanner. Wow. I hardly know her. Well, no, actually I do know him fairly well. Reasonably well. Well, not really anymore. I don't know.
You never really don't lose track of him.
Yeah, I think we were rat brothers. He was Noah's rat. Noah's second rat. Yeah, there we go. So we're brothers, really.
Yeah, in a way. Actually, in all the ways. Yeah.
Kind of.
So what's going on? Like I said, it's been a while, so why don't you catch people up with your travels?
Oh, yeah, like frequent listeners who heard me on the podcast last time, like, oh my god, it's a recurring character. Wow. Right. Okay, yeah, no, my travels, I don't know what I may have disclosed previously, but, I'm in Boston, living in Boston. And I have a job, real job, real people. I work, I graduated with my master's degree, last summer. So I've been working since then. I work at a robotics company. So do some motion control type stuff. It's pretty fun. So that's kind of the gist of it. Oh, and I moved in with my girlfriend. So we're living the life here in downtown Boston. So that's the Reese catch up hour, or it was only a minute, but yeah, that's the very brief version of events.
All right, let's expand it to an hour then. You've already.
Shoot. Wait. Can we swear in this pot? What's the rating? What is your?
I don't know. Just say whatever you want. We don't have
really. Whatever I want.
I mean, we do have an 8-year-old that listens, but they're fine.
Your cousin.
That 8-year-old would be like 12 by now, but.
By now. Okay, yeah. So yeah, no, I'll I have my name associated with this, so I guess I'll keep it. I'm always worried people are gonna dig this up, like when I'm doing something really cool, and everybody's like, oh, what was he was on this podcast. So Daniel, you better make this podcast really something, because when people start, looking me up, it's either they're gonna be like, wow, he was on, shit. What was this? I have so many things on my mind. I forgot the Experience. He was on the Experience podcast, or they'll be like, oh man, he was on the Experience podcast. I didn't know he was like that.
Oh, in a bad way, probably.
There's a lot of pressure on you. Yeah, exactly. But I think you're keeping up pretty well with the competition.
The competition?
Yeah, I've been listening to some Lex Friedman recently.
Okay.
And maybe you could take a few pointers. He's.
I mean, not that you don't listen to my show. You're just listening to.
Well, I don't listen to podcasts in general, so it's kind of an ask, actually.
Oh.
Yep. Sorry, Daniel. If I did listen to no, actually, that's the reason I don't listen to the show, is because I don't listen to podcasts at all. I mean, come on, it's like it's not.
That's fine. I'll accept that excuse. You're not discriminating. It's just in general you're out.
Yeah, no, and I was only listening to Lex Friedman because my girlfriend listens to Lex Friedman, so that's the only reason. Just a couple Lex Friedman podcasts.
Okay, so you guys listen together.
Yeah. Exactly.
Aren't those podcasts pretty long? I mean, are you just sitting around for like 3 hours listening to the podcast?
No, actually, well, sometimes we'll put it on, be either painting together, or if we're on like a road trip or something, or like taking the bus, we'll like do like share play audio. So we'll like listen together, and then like you can like pause it and discuss, because the topics are really dense, So it's like.
Do you or we'll get back to that in a minute. Do you go on road trips on a bus frequently? Is that what you're doing?
No, well, I guess it's not really a road trip. It's on a bus, just like a bus trip. It's not that frequent. Just like whenever we go to New York, which has only been like a handful of times, really.
Okay, that's not that far, too. So
yeah, like it's a 4.5 hour bus trip.
Because you make it sound like you're going on these like 10, 12 hour long bus trips.
No.
Listening to these podcasts.
No.
For that long of a time, which seems like that's why I was questioning it.
Yeah, no, don't worry, Daniel. Don't. We're not crazy here. 10 hours, come on.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the bus is the best way to get there. Oh, I'm trying to think.
Actually, no, the train is the best way, but the bus is way cheaper.
Well, I mean, in terms of costs. Yeah, the train would be easier. The trains are nice, depending on the train.
Nice. Super nice. I don't know why I didn't take the train more frequently.
The seats are big. The price is not crazy. Like we said, the bus is obviously a lot cheaper, but you're paying for a bus. But the train, you can get up and walk around. I mean,
super nice. Yeah, but I mean the price though, it's like it can get up there. It can get like what?
It depends on where you're going and all that. Yeah, that's gonna.
Yeah, it can get as much as a flight. Even for a close distance, it's kind of crazy. And maybe because it's not subsidized. And let's get political here. We need to subsidize trains. I mean, come on. Am I right? Am I right?
Trains feel well. I guess no. Yeah. I have no strong opinion about trains.
Oh, okay. I have very strong opinions about trains, cars,
and public transportation. Yeah.
Yeah. Public opinions. We could turn this podcast into something. It's a very real field of you could have political debates, and it could just be about transport.
What sort of we'll test the waters here. What sort of hot topic transportation opinions do you have that you need to get out there?
No. They're not really hot topic. I just think that all cars should be incinerated. That's really it. That's the whole deal.
All right. Well,
maybe not incinerated.
I mean that counts as hot.
Recycled. You could just something like that.
Well, what's wrong with cars? What's wrong with individual cars?
Actually, no. I'm hyperbolizing a little bit. No, there's nothing wrong with cars specifically. I think cars are a great solution for a transit problem, like one problem, getting from point A to point B. But for some reason, in many parts of America, that's the only solution available to people. Just a car. You can't bike in many parts. Where we went to college, Atlanta. There's basically in most of the city and the metro area and Georgia for that matter, it's like biking is like a no-go. Trains are, you've got, we had MARTA, but that was very limited. And there was no regional train system either. So if there's no train available to you, there's no other transportation solution for you. It's just a car that you have to own too. Very expensive, very wasteful. One car per person. I mean, come on. So that's my hot take. But it's not that I'm against cars. It's just that I'm for, multiple solutions. Considering the best solution for the city or the environment or whatever. That's my whole deal. So we're on the topic of trains. That's what got me here. Trains.
Well, so I live I live in a very small, like rural kind of city area in the middle of nowhere. So what mode of transportation would you suggest? Because like you said, this is an area where you can't really bike because half the year it's snowing. So, like, that's taken out.
Right. Wait,
And
what
then
state? What state? I don't even know what state you're in.
I'm in upstate New York. And
upstate. That's right. That's right here.
It's I'm on the other side of the state.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of snow. There's you really can only there's no train per se because it's not a big enough city.
Yeah.
There is like one bus, I guess, that takes you around the city, but.
Let me ask you this. If you wanted to visit me in Boston, how would you do it? By train. In upstate New York.
Well, I think I drove the last time I went to Boston.
You drove last time? Well, if you want to do it by train, how would you do it?
By train?
Yeah.
I'd have to drive to. Okay, so I live about 45 minutes outside Syracuse. So I would have to drive to Syracuse to get to the train, which would, eventually make its way to Boston.
Eventually, exactly. It goes down to New York, and then from New York you go to Boston.
I don't know, no, because I live outside Syracuse. I think I can go straight across to like Albany.
Really? There's a train around at least one. Well, we don't. Well, yeah, we can look it up, but basically, maybe I'm wrong, but the point I'm trying to make here is that there's like no train. There's very limited train connections, even intercity connections. So I think at the very least, your city should have some kind, just like one train stop in a convenient location, downtown or wherever, just one train stop that will take you to another, like it could take you to like Syracuse. Wouldn't that be convenient? You could just like ride to Syracuse and go to that train station. Or it could just be one train stop in a huge network. So you could just like go to New York if you wanted, or Boston, and you wouldn't have to worry about like parking your car in New York if you want to drive there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd say it's just not there. There's just nothing. There's always something, in my opinion, that can happen, unless it's just like a very, very small city with like one house. Like, what are you gonna do?
So I have one that goes down to New York City. Let's see what this one is. New York City. Maybe you do have to go through New York City.
Yeah.
No, this one says it goes straight there, Syracuse to Boston.
Really? Are you sure it's not tricking you and showing a bus route? Sometimes Google Maps likes to do that.
I'm on
and then a bus.
No, I'm on a website. I'm not on a search engine.
Are you sure it's not stopping in New York?
This one says it goes straight there. 0 transfers. Amtrak.
Okay, very nice. Okay, Amtrak. Oh, Amtrak. Yeah, Amtrak. Amtrak is cool.
Yeah, I'm missing. And this one says it goes through Albany. So there's multiple ways to do this. You can stop somewhere like in New York City or Albany, or you can go straight there.
Oh, okay.
But again, this is kind of a niche, transport. Like how many people are really going from Syracuse to Boston?
True.
So.
True. But I mean, Syracuse to New York, that's probably a lot.
Yeah, but you can also fly. You can just drive. So you can take a drive. You can drive.
But
you can get on a quick plane.
How convenient is a train versus flying? I mean, come
on. If you live near the Syracuse airport, it's a nice.
Which you don't want to do, right?
It's a nice hour-long flight,
Yeah, 1 hour. But no, it's not just an hour-long flight. You have to get there an hour early, and you have to get to the airport.
Like I said, if you live near the Syracuse airport, I know one of my coworkers who lives like 15 minutes away from the airport.
15 minutes.
So she'll take a flight to go to New York City, like on a weekend or something.
Okay. No, I think even
I guess she doesn't want to deal with the drive. Because the 6-hour drive is the problem.
Right. A train might be,
not,
what, like 45? No, like 4 hours maybe?
No, I think it's more. I think it's got to be more than this.
Or it could be 5. It depends. I actually don't know the exact lengths. I don't know. But let me ask you this. How long would you rather spend like in a car versus on a train? Like, would you rather spend like an hour on the train or 45 minutes in the car?
No, and like I've already said, like the train experience is just so much better, obviously. But,
Yeah. That's my whole thing. Yeah.
It's like I'm getting like 6 hours on a train from Syracuse
Right,
to Penn
yeah.
Station.
Well, in that case, yeah, flying.
So flying is a little faster. I mean, like you said, you got to deal with all this, all the airports junk. But if you live near the city, it's about the same price. Like we already discussed, the train ticket can be a lot.
Yeah.
We're talking like over $200.
Yeah. So now we get to a different point, right? Now we can solve both these problems, the expense and the time, right? With high-speed rail. Subsidized high-speed rail at that. And then you don't have this like aging train system. You get this nice modern train.
They're working on that train from Washington D.C. to New York City, right? I mean, how's that going?
Are you talking about the Aclea or whatever it's called?
I don't know what it is or how to pronounce it.
I heard it was like it's like an Amtrak thing, but it's also very expensive. It's like more expensive than a flight. Like I looked into it. They only offer like business class tickets. Super nice.
We pick a random Saturday in June, so it's reasonably away.
Yeah, check it out. It's probably going to be like $200.
No. Well, okay, so I gotta look up the speedy one. Let's see.
I think it's called Aclea or something.
Acela.
Oh, there we go. I don't know where I got the extra L.
You were in. But it's not. You know what? It's not that much faster. We're talking like maybe 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes at most. Out of like 3 hours. So instead of like 3 hours and 20 minutes, it gets you there in 2 hours and 51 minutes.
Yeah.
For an extra a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. Yeah.
A lot of money. For a lot more money. For like hundreds more money. Hundreds of dollars.
Does it qualify as a high-speed rail system?
I'm not even sure.
Right,
I'm not sure. And even then, so 2 hours and 51 minutes to take a train from Washington, D.C. to Penn Station, New York City. If you drive, that's no more, and including traffic, right? It's not going to be more than 4 hours for driving.
Not going to be more than 4. Yeah.
4 hours, yeah, for driving. So you're not really saving too much time.
No, you are saving time.
Train. You're saving about an hour.
No, because the time of the car is wasted time. That time is gone.
You're saying the train time is more valuable.
Yeah, you can read a book, you can watch something, you can do work, you do whatever you want.
Sure, yes, you get that flexibility, but then the car you get the flexibility of stopping too.
Who needs to stop?
You got a
bathroom on the train.
Besides, I don't know if you want to stop.
I mean, where are you gonna? Okay, come on. Okay, you got flexibility of stopping. You're gonna stop like a couple times in a gas station bathroom.
That's an experience for some people.
I mean, but you can't tell me a train bathroom versus a gas station bathroom. You can't tell me a gas station bathroom is better than a train bathroom. Well, maybe it is. No, train bathrooms are pretty bad. Never mind. I think
train bathrooms are great.
I don't think it's a big bonus, the ability to stop. Like, just because you would only stop to use the bathroom. That's it.
What about and then there's the obvious factor of maybe you want the car at your destination, right?
Oh yeah, because I'm considering that the two places we mentioned, Boston and New York, you do not want a car at these locations. You drive to New York City, what are you going to do with your car? You're going to park it and pay a bunch of money, and then you're going to use the subway to get around, right? For your New York City trip. You do not want to drive there.
I drive. I do drive to New York City, but I go to some like weird places. I'm not really going to like Manhattan.
Oh,
So
okay. I guess I'm just thinking of Manhattan. Well, New York, like the real New York, not like whatever.
Like I'm going to like Queens and Staten Island, which are the places where you actually could use a car.
Right. Okay. I guess then maybe I could take it back halfway because I'm just thinking of Manhattan really.
Yeah, Manhattan and then like a lot of Brooklyn, you don't really need a car.
Yeah.
Right on that front.
Yeah. So in some places you do not want it, and it's more convenient to just like not have it and pretend you don't have it. Same in Boston. If you took the train to like North Station or South Station here, you're good. You can explore all of Boston. I mean, it's not a big area it's not like huge, but it'll keep you entertained for a little bit, and you don't need it, and you don't want one either. Where are you going to park and stuff like that. But you're saying like
parking's an issue.
What?
Parking is an issue. Parking is
parking. Yeah. If you want a car, I guess a car at your destination, that could be nice. But you only want a car at your destination because there are no transportation solutions at your destination. So, if at your destination there was, there were trains, trams, bikes you could rent. I don't know. Like if you took the train to like a beach town and you just like rented a bike, you'd be good. You could just I don't really know where I'm thinking of specifically, but we can use our imaginations here.
I'm sure we can.
Yeah. We're very imaginative people. Yeah.
Well, you are. I don't know about me. I'm just kind of
just some guy. Let's make this the what about the Daniel catch-up hour? I don't even.
Oh,
yes, yeah, I forgot. I think I remember that you were in New York actually from last time.
Well, that's all that's really necessary.
That's all. I don't want to disclose too much information. Daniel, what's your address and and social security number?
Yeah, well, we've already given those out on the podcast many times, so we don't need to rehash that. There's not much with me. Whatever you think you remember is probably the same.
I remember that you worked at a nuclear power plant. Is that right?
Yes. See, whatever you think you remember is correct. So,
cool.
I can't tell. It sounds like a bird chirping, but for a second I thought it was like a smoke detector.
A smoke detector. It might have been a bird chirping.
Well, my smoke detector recently was at its kind of end of life cycle.
Uh-huh.
So it was doing the hey, I'm about to die beeping.
Cheep. Yep.
But it took about a week for them to replace it. So I just had to keep hitting silence. Well, no, you can silence it
just take out the battery. You don't need a smoke detector. Just take out.
Taking out the batteries does not help. Because at first I was like, oh, maybe it's just a battery issue. So I swapped out the batteries. That didn't work. So it was definitely an end of life thing. But you hit silence. I think it silenced it for like 48 hours or something like that. Maybe less than that. Okay. So I only had to reset that. But I work 12-hour shifts
at the plant, at the nuclear power plant.
Wow. Yep. So when I go to work, we're talking like by including transportation and all that, it's like 13 hours. Between like front door to front door, like round trip. So I would leave and then come back and it would be beeping, and I'm kind of wondering like, man, was that going on for like like 10 hours? Are my neighbors upset because they can hear my smoke detector chirping for several hours?
Man, they probably, maybe you're not in like the good graces of whatever, like the neighborhood.
Yeah, I had to be that guy.
You're that guy with like the dog barking in the backyard because you're not feeding it. But for like 13 hours.
Especially when I was working nights, because I think that was the week where I was working nights, so it could have been beeping all night.
Wow, 13 hours. That's actually, yeah. Beeping all night.
It's a 12-hour shift, but then if you include like transportation and then turnover.
That's like a similar amount of time that I'm actually gone from the house. It's like, it used to be 12 hours and I like moved some time around. Now it's like, I'm gone for what? Like, I'm gone. I leave the house, I'm gone for 12 hours.
a long day for people.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah. Yeah. I just like internalized that.
Maybe you need to work on your time management. What are you doing for 12 hours?
12. I work for 8.5, and then I'm at transit for 2, like 1 hour each way. So, or I guess about 10. That's only 10.5 hours. Where are the other?
Yeah, you're
never mind.
Because
I'm gone at like 6. I leave. It's from we're talking 6:30 to 5:10 p.m. 6:30 a.m. to 5:10 p.m. Right.
That's pretty long. Yeah, that's still pretty long.
It's pretty long. But the transit, transit is like an hour.
An hour. Are you outside? Are you working outside of the city? Or are you like how far away do you live?
It's about maybe like 10 miles.
Straight line distance, like 10 miles.
Maybe like 10 miles. I work in Beverly, and so I don't know what that means to you, but like it's on the North Shore of Boston. So like it's, but I take the train. I can't tell. I take the train every day to my work. And so it's like a 40-minute trip, but then I like scoot the rest of the way. But basically, it would be kind of similar because like my coworkers basically just like sit in traffic for an hour each way anyways. So it's kind of like, what choice do I have? But yeah, no, that's, your poor neighbors, huh?
Man, that is far. Beverly is far. I mean, why don't you live closer? What are we doing here?
I enjoy, well, here's the thing. I like Boston specifically. So, it's just kind of like, where do you like living and where do you want to work, I guess. So like
the great debate, as they call it.
Is it really the great debate? Yeah. I mean, I guess I could live closer, but then I'm letting like my job dictate where I'm living, and instead I just want to like live where I want, you know.
Wow. It's incredible that you get choices.
What? Choice?
I wish I had choices.
What are you talking about?
That makes sense.
Come on, Dan. You have choices. You choose to.
So I could. Yeah. That's true. I could do the same. So like I live close to where I work. I live it's a 15-minute drive for me, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Very close. But I know people that live closer to Syracuse, but their commute in the winter when it's snowing, you know, we're talking like an hour.
Yeah.
So you can either live closer to Syracuse and like some more suburban stuff, like, you know, your shopping centers and stuff, but commute for an hour, or you can live up in the small city near work and only have to drive 15 minutes. So, you know, there's a trade-off there, right?
I think there's always a trade-off, yeah. For me,
it depends on what you want.
Yeah, no, I just love Boston. Like, when I'm not at work, it's nice. Like, I walk to the grocery store, walk wherever I want, take the train, bike around. I just like living, like, you know, without the need of a car. Not because I hate cars, just because it's just nice to, like, I just feel even more free without having to need one, if that makes any kind of sense.
Yeah, in some ways you get a little more flexibility in what you can do.
That's how I feel.
You're not
yeah.
worried about your car.
Yeah.
You just just go wherever you need to go next, and you'll find a way somehow.
Exactly.
And there's plenty of options to do that.
You get me. But the downside is, like the commute is long. You know, it's like the commute is long. That's the downside. Yeah. But
all right. Well, anything else you wanted to cover before you accidentally end the stream again?
Hilarious. No, I wanted to talk about your. Oh yeah. Do you ever? So your work, is there like a big red button that you're not allowed to press?
You know, I'm not sure it qualifies. There's the mode switch, which if you roll it a certain way would shut down the plant.
Okay, so it's just like one switch, right?
But it's not like a big red button. Well, it's like, you know, it's covered obviously, and it's like a whole thing. And I'm not even qualified to do it. That's like a control room operator person, like job.
But there is one button. There's one big red button. Safety.
Sure, you could trip the turbine on the side. There's two buttons for that.
Wow. I'm just imagining. Are there a lot of? Yeah, no. It's just like, okay.
There's some other ways. There's some other ways where if you do something, it will scram. But
you're saying there's like one roller switch, like a roller switch that just like shuts down the whole plant. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. But it's not like a big red button.
Like a safety thing.
It's not like a big red button thing or anything.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Just your standard. The switch that determines what mode. So there's different modes that the reactor can be in. Like online, hot shutdown, cold shutdown, refuel. That's all these different. I mean, the semantics of it doesn't really matter. But the point is, like,
I've vaguely heard of hot shutdown and cold shutdown. In one state, it's fairly warm, and the other state, no.
I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty much the gist of it. It's based on like water level, water temperature.
Are there many? Do you guys eat a lot of donuts at?
I see where this is going. I don't think we eat any more donuts than any other workers. If anything, we eat fewer.
So many. So there are a lot.
Like, it's not like the plant. So it's not like the company supply. The company rarely supplies food. So it's if someone just remembers or feels like bringing in a dozen donuts.
So maybe just like once every few days, maybe.
I know much less than that. Like maybe once a week.
Oh wow, once a week. Yeah, so there are quite a lot.
If that might be too much.
That's a lot of
once
donuts.
Every other.
Well, you said less than a typical nuclear power plant, so I'm thinking like once every.
No, less than a typical like any workplace. That's what I'm saying.
You said a typical power plant.
No, anywhere. I don't know what I said, but I'm pretty sure I said any workplace. But if I did, anywhere.
So okay, but like I mean, once a week that's pretty substantial. It's like every week something.
That might be pushing it. Well, because keep in mind we work weird schedules, so like I may only work one day that week and stuff like that. So like because there's 5 different shifts that rotate through. So I'm not saying my shift. I'm saying at some point someone brought in a box of donuts like that week. But I didn't just see it.
It kind of makes sense. I can see it too. Kind of makes sense now. Okay.
All right. I think I've answered enough clarifying questions on the donuts. And
Yeah. No. Thank you. No, it all makes sense to me now. Yeah. No. I don't. I actually don't have anything more to add before I accidentally shut this call down.
All right. We'll end it there.